As you sit here now, become aware that you are sitting. Feel the contact of your body with the chair or the surface beneath you. Feel the weight of the body. Perhaps you notice the movement of the breath. There is already a stillness here. You may not have noticed it before. It is not something you create. It is simply recognized. Allow yourself just for this moment to not be moving toward anything, nothing to achieve, nowhere to get to, just here. Notice that the mind may say, that cannot be enough. It is too simple. It is nothing. And yet in this apparent nothing, there is a quiet fullness. There is awareness itself. You are aware. Before any thought arises, there is already this aware space. Thoughts come and go within it, like clouds passing through the open sky. You are not the clouds. You are the sky. Perhaps you notice a thought right now. It could be about the past, about something that happened. It could be about the future, something you are worried about. Just notice that the thought appears and disappears. If you do not follow it, if you do not add more thinking to it, it leaves a trace that quickly dissolves. You are here as the awareness of it all. This simple recognition is already the beginning of freedom. True freedom begins the moment you realize you are not the voice in your head. You may still hear the voice, you may still experience thoughts, but something has shifted. You are no longer completely inside the story. Let us bring attention now to what we can call the ego. The ego is a mental image of who you think you are. It is made of stories, of memories, of labels. I am this kind of person. I have this history. These are my successes. These are my failures. These are my wounds. The ego always seeks to strengthen this image. It loves to be right. It loves to compare itself with others. It lives in a world of me and mine, you and them. When someone says something that does not fit the ego's image, you may notice an inner reaction, a contraction, a sense of being attacked. And then comes the urge to defend, to argue, to prove, to explain. All of this happens in the realm of thought. It is a movement of the mind. But you are not the ego. You are not this collection of stories and images. You are the awareness in which those stories appear. Your life situation, all the circumstances, all the roles, all the events, is not your life. Your life is deeper than that. Your life is this conscious presence that is here right now. The mind is usually not interested in the present moment. It is preoccupied with what was and what might be. It believes that fulfillment, peace, completion are in some future achievement or in some rearrangement of circumstances. But life never happens in the future. It only ever happens now. This moment, what you are sensing now, what is here in your field of awareness, is your life. When you resist what is, when you mentally argue with the present moment, suffering arises. You may notice this in very small ways. You are in a traffic jam and the mind says this should not be happening. You feel irritation. The outer situation is one thing. The resistance to it is another layer created by the mind. Without that inner no, there is just the experience. Cars, stillness, perhaps rain, the sensation of the body. With the inner no, you have tension, frustration, complaint. Suffering is not in the situation alone, it is in the resistance. Now, for many people, this resistance is not only mental, there is also a deeper layer of accumulated emotional pain. This is what we can call the pain body. The pain body is an energetic field of old pain inside you. It consists of past emotional experiences that were not fully met in presence. Moments of hurt, rejection, loss, abandonment, humiliation, fear. These experiences leave an imprint in the emotional field. They remain in the body as dormant energy. From time to time, the pain body becomes active. It is triggered by something in the present that resonates with the old pain. Perhaps someone uses a certain tone of voice. Perhaps they ignore you. Perhaps they criticize you. Suddenly, there is a disproportionate reaction in your inner space, a surge, tightness in the chest or stomach, heat, anger, sadness, despair. You may notice that in those moments your thinking also intensifies. The mind begins to generate stories that match the emotional pain. They never respect me. I'm
used. No one really cares. The pain body feeds on these thoughts, and the thoughts feed on the pain body. They reinforce each other. Drama is the pain body's favorite food. Conflict, accusation, blame, victim stories. These are all nourishment for it. You may notice this in relationships. An apparently small event, a misunderstanding, a simple remark, and suddenly there is a huge argument. The pain body has taken over. In those moments, you are
no longer really present. You are identified with the emotional energy and the thoughts that go with it. Later you may say, I don't know what came over me. It wasn't really me. And in a sense that is true. It was the pain body. But even the pain body appears in awareness. It is not ultimately who you are. So the question is, how do we meet the pain body with presence? First, we need to recognize it. Perhaps even now, as you listen, you sense some heaviness inside, a background layer of unease, or perhaps a more acute pain that has been with you recently. Do not try to get rid of it. Do not push it away. Do not label it as bad. Simply acknowledge there is a field of energy here. There is a contraction. There is an ache, an emotional charge. Now notice that you are aware of it. The fact that you can say there is pain already means you are not the pain itself. Bring your attention gently into the area of the body where you feel it most. Perhaps the chest, the throat, the belly. Feel it as raw energy, not as my story, not as what they did to me, but simply as sensation. You may find it helpful to let go of the mental commentary that wants to explain the pain. Any story about it will usually strengthen it. So for a moment, just be with the energy itself. Feel it directly. It may intensify, it may shift, it may seem to resist. Being observed. Stay present, stay here. You are not trying to fix it. You are not making it into a problem. You are simply shining the light of awareness on it. In this gentle gaze, something begins to change. You may sense a space around the pain. The pain is there, but it is not all of you. There is awareness of the pain. There is also the space in which it appears. As awareness grows, the pain body cannot feed in the same way. It cannot create the same drama. It cannot pull you into unconscious reactions as easily. Sometimes the pain body will still act out. You may still find yourself saying or doing things from that place. When you notice it afterwards, be gentle with yourself. No need to add guilt to the pain. Simply see it, recognize. The pain body was active. In that recognition, it loses some of its power. Over time, as you bring presence consistently to the inner field, the pain body gradually dissolves. It becomes lighter, less dense. The energy that was trapped in those old patterns is freed. This is not something you have to make happen. Awareness itself is the transforming agent. Now let us bring our attention back to this moment. Notice any sounds in the room or environment, not naming them, just hearing. Notice the sense of the body from within, what I sometimes call the inner body. If you close your eyes for a moment, you may feel a subtle vibration, a sense of aliveness throughout the body. It is as if there is a field of life inside your hands, your arms, your legs, your chest. Rest your attention there, not thinking about it, but feeling it. As you feel the inner body, thoughts tend to quiet down. Attention is no longer completely absorbed in the mental space. It is anchored in the deeper sense of being. Notice that in this state there is no problem. Problems exist in the mind as projections into the future or interpretations of the past. Right now, in this immediate sensing of the inner body, can you find a problem? There may be challenges in your life situation. There may be tasks, things to take care of. But this moment itself is simply as it is. There is breathing, there is aliveness, there is the sense of I am. This I am is prior to any label. Before you say I am this or I am that, there is simply I am. Stay with that. Feel the pure sense of existing. You do not need to complete it with anything. You do not need to say I am successful or I am failing. The mind will always try to add something to this simple being. But you can gently allow those additions to fall away. When you rest as this presence, life becomes less personal. Events still happen, people still say things, the body still experiences pleasure and pain, but there is a deeper dimension that is not affected. You may find this especially helpful in relationships. In close relationships, the pain body often becomes very active. The ego uses the other person as an arena for its drama. Have you noticed how quickly a simple disagreement can turn into a full conflict? One word triggers the other's pain body. Their reaction triggers yours. Soon, it is no longer about the original situation. It is a battle of egos and pain bodies. If you bring presence into this, something different becomes possible. The next time you feel yourself about to react, about to say something harsh, see if you can pause for a moment, feel the energy in the body, notice the contraction, the heat, the urge to hurt back, to be right. Recognize, here is the pain body, here is the ego wanting to win. If even a small gap appears between the impulse and the action, consciousness has entered. Perhaps you still speak, but now there is some space inside you. You may find that what you say is softer, less accusatory, or you may find that silence is more truthful in that moment. Sometimes the most loving thing is not to fuel the argument, not from repression, not from fear, but from seeing that no good can come from continuing. Presence in relationships does not mean you become passive or accept harmful behavior. It means you see clearly what is happening within yourself and the other. You recognize that when the other person is taken over by the pain body, they are not truly themselves. You do not take their words so personally. This seeing allows for compassion. It does not mean you must stay in every situation. Sometimes the loving action is to step away. But even in stepping away, you can remain free of hatred inside. Acceptance, in the deeper sense, does not mean you like a certain situation or that you do nothing. It means you acknowledge that what is. From that inner yes, right action becomes clear. That you are no longer acting from reactivity, from blind resistance. You are acting from presence. Surrender to the present moment is not a passive state. It is a very alive, intelligent openness. When you are no longer saying no to what already is, you are in harmony with life. Then, if something needs to change, you are better able to see it and to move. If it does not need to change, you rest in the simplicity of being. Now, once again, bring awareness to the energy field of the body. Feel your hands from within. Can you sense a subtle tingling, a vibration? Feel the same aliveness in your feet, your legs, your abdomen, your chest. Let the attention spread throughout the entire body as one field of presence. You may also notice the space around the body, the room, the air. There is a sense of being both inside and outside, without separation. Thoughts may still come and go. They are like ripples on the surface. But your attention is rooted in this quiet depth. There may still be a residue of pain in the body. That is all right. It does not need to disappear immediately. Just keep allowing it to be there in the light of awareness. Over time, the very way you relate to discomfort changes. Instead of habitual resistance, you offer a gentle welcoming. You see that even pain can be a doorway into deeper presence if you do not turn it into a story. Each time the pain body arises and you recognize it, you have an opportunity to awaken more fully. The old pattern is to be taken over by it, to act from it, to speak from it, and then to regret it later. The new possibility is to remain as the witnessing presence. The pain body may still move, but you do not merge with it completely. In that subtle inner shift, suffering begins to decrease, not because all painful experiences are gone, but because you no longer add unnecessary resistance. You may find that you become more gentle with yourself and with others. You see the shared human condition. Everyone carries some degree of pain body. Everyone has a mind that generates stories, worries, fears. This recognition removes the arrogance of the ego that says, only I suffer, or only I am right. Instead, there is humility, a quiet understanding that we are all learning, all growing, all waking up from identification with form. Spiritual awakening is not something far away in time. It is not a future event for a more perfected version of yourself. It is the simple recognition of presence here and now. In this moment, without adding anything, you can notice that you are aware. You are aware of the body, aware of sounds, aware of breath, aware of the movement of thought. You do not need to stop the thoughts. You simply see that they are appearances in awareness. When you no longer seek your identity in them, they lose their grip. You discover a quiet joy that is not dependent on circumstances. It is not excitement. It is not elation. It is a subtle, stable peace. This peace can coexist with the ups and downs of your life situation. It is the background, the ever-present depth of who you are. As you rest more often in this awareness, the pain body finds fewer opportunities to take over. It may still visit like a guest, but it does not become the owner of the house. You recognize it, you welcome it into the light, and in that welcoming, its energy is transformed. Perhaps now, as we come to the end of this time together, you can simply sit for a few moments in silence. No need to do anything with what has been said, no need to remember it or to use it as another concept. Just notice the stillness that is already here. Notice the aliveness of the inner body. Notice the simple fact that you are. Let that be enough. Nothing is missing from this moment. Whatever is present is. Allow your awareness to rest as itself, open, spacious, without effort. In this, you are meeting the pain body, the mind, the world, with presence. This is the essence of awakening, the timeless recognition of what you already are.